gonna use the pencil to measure the body. So I'm gonna make a blue line in the middle here, like this, straight. Along this blue line, I'm going to align the volume of the body, right? Like this. It should be enough so you can see it, right? Okay. So then I'm going to divide this. I can do this now, right? It's gonna be kind of big so we can see this well, right? Now we're gonna divide this in half by eyeballing it, right? Let me show you how we do this in a more, you know, studio way. I eyeball that measurement, then I check this, right? And then I see if it's the same. A little bit. Actually, I can move this here, right? When you do this, you can also, you go here, like that. All right, that's it. Now I divide this in half, right? I ball it, then I measure, and probably here. Remember, we need 7.5 segments, right? Equals 7.5 segments. 1 and 2, it's good. 3 and 4. It's not good here. And here. All right, that's good. Now we have 4. Now we get 8. Still eyeball it. Probably this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a half. I cut this in half. So now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna block in here the egg of the head, right? And I'm gonna give you the proportion. Again, remember, you have all this proportion in the materials, right? Probably in the first week, there's all the charts. But when we draw the head, what I like to do, first intuitively an egg, right, or a cylinder, or a marshmallow, or a very basic geometric volume. Then we're gonna start measuring more accurately to see if we have the right proportion. Meaning, first I want to use my intuition to see if it, you know, it looks. If this is going to be 1, it's going to be 2/3. So I'm gonna eyeball that, thinking, you know, it should be more or less like that or not, right? So then, let me see one thing. Yeah. So then, I draw a circle here. That's the back of the cranium, right? This is the back of the cranium. Can you see from behind? Or see if I have the cranium here. I don't have it here. And now this should be 1/3 of the total height. So let's see if it is, right? 1/3. That's the jaw seen from behind. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's good. So I'll leave it. Now I flatten this. I flatten the base of the cranium, right? And then between this, the top of the second box here and the bottom of the third box, I include the rib cage. The rib cage, I want the rib cage to be starting a little bit lower than compared to the chin, but not 1/3 like we would do if we were drawing this from the front, right? So about 1/8 or a little bit, right? Then from here, right, the bottom, I need to from the bottom of the third box, I need to find the base of the rib cage. And the base of the rib cage, it's easier if you measure it moving up from here rather than from here down. So from here, right, we need to find 1/4 of this of one head, right? So what I do, I divide this in half and then divide this in half, and that's how I have 1/4. So that's it. That is the base of the rib cage, right? The width of the rib cage in female, right, in female model or female body is a little bit more than 1. It's 1 1/8, right? So I take 1, right? I take 1, measure this here, and then I put it here like this, right? And this helped me to kind of find the right measurement it's a little bit more than one. It should be a little bit more than one like this, right? A little bit more than one, right? And that's fine. Could be a little bit more. I put it here like this. Now I have this egg here, right? This time the egg though is upright, see that? So remember, this is not the bottom of the third box. The bottom of the third box is here. So this is the top of the fourth box, or the bottom of the third. And that's where I have the pelvis. The pelvis is here like this, right? The pelvis is one head, the measurement of one head. So the pelvis, once I have a, is the lines are clear, right? You guys see, right? You see, right? So
yes, I see. Thank you.
So here we have this, the bottom of the ribcage, we can have a little bit kind of a concavity like that, right? Kind of concave like that. And I'm gonna take out now where did I put it? Oh, what is my eraser? Okay. Take down this, right? And then we block in here the width of the rib cage. We'll bring it down here like this, but the width of the pelvis in women is slightly wider than the width of the rib cage. So I come down with this measurement first, and then I add a little bit more. There is a number, there is a ratio for that, but I prefer to show you what you would do when you draw in real life, because the ratio is 1 3/8, right? But the ratio, you would memorize it, but what you need to memorize mostly is this is wider than that, because the variation are so many that this could be quite wider, it could be very close to the same rib cage, but overall, when you draw the female axial skeleton, you want to think that the ratio about this and this, where this is wider and this is narrow. That's all, right? So now we have the box of the pelvis here like this. We divide this horizontally in 4 segments, equal segment, like this. And I also like to draw these diagrams here like this by hand without using ruler and stuff, because it increases your precision in drawing, in the control of the line, making straight a line, making it symmetrical in freehand. It's really good exercise. When I was a kid, I was looking at my dad was an industrial designer, right? And he was making this beautiful, beautiful design of bikes and cars and stuff, right? The stuff that was producing. And his hand was impeccable. I just think, how you do that? Right? Yeah, you do it. And he was doing this beautiful, clean, super smooth line, right? And that from there I understood the importance of really having this patternance of the line. And it's just practice. That's what it is, right? Just do it. Of course, you want to know some techniques, right? But yeah, it helps if you do this kind of stuff by hand, right? All right, so now here we have the base of the pelvis is half a head, right? So I take half a head here. It looks good. Now I go with I'm going to encase. So I'm gonna include the pelvis inside the box, right? So now we can block in here, right? From included between the line of the lower quarter and the line of the middle, the height of the pelvis, half inside and half outside the profile of the pelvis, the joint. This is the acetabulum, right? The trochanter is going to be, top of the trochanter is going to be, starts at the level of the top of the trochanter is at the level of the center of the head of the femur, right? And we block in the trochanter half inside and half outside the box, the width of the box here. See that? because the trochanter protrude a little bit. Now, 1.5 heads down, here, we have the knee joint. How wide is the knee joint? It's 7/8 or almost 1, right? 7/8 or almost 1. So what I have, I take, these are quarter, I divide 1 in half, and now I have here 7/8, right? So I block it here, right? Here. And let me check again. It's good, a bit less right here. So now now we're blocking the profile of this a little bit, right? From the top of the iliac crest here, not here, right? From here, do it down like this and down like that, right? Because we want to block in the femur inside, so it's kind of useful here to have a little bit of the profile of the figure, because it gives us a more clear visualization of how the femur is positioned inside the volume of the thigh, because it's not cutting in the middle. The femur is not cutting in the middle of the thigh. It starts from the surface almost, and then it gradually gets in like this, right? So meaning the axis of the thigh is not the same as the shaft of the femur. They're two separate things, right? So now here we have the neck, and here we have the shaft. You see how the thigh come in in comparison with the femurs of the male femur. They come in and at a more pronounced angle, because in men the pelvis is narrower, right? So the distance between the two joint is smaller in men, but in women is greater. So the femur start from far out, but they had to go down to the same width, comparatively speaking, as the male knees. So the angle of the legs, the thigh, in women tend to be more pronounced. And this is called Q angle. This angle between the vertical and this is called Q angle, right? So now we have here, below this, we have, if you need me to, repeat or slow down, just let me know, right? Okay, so now we take 1/3. We start from the bottom here, right? From the bottom of the figure, the feet. We take 1/3, and 1/3 is here. We have it here in the head. So I'm going to take 1/3 here and put it here, right? And now we take 1/3 and we put it on each side here of the articular plane, right here and here. And we now draw the profile of the feet. So now from this, the width of the knee, I go down to the width of the malleoli here and here. And then we have the stereometric volume of pelvis, thigh, and leg, but I didn't do the stereometric volume of this. Just want to do a hybrid, right? Just to see that just to show you that these two systems kind of live together, right? One, the boxes eventually will lead you to that, right? And from here, then you can go on to the muscle. So they are all seen sequentially. The way I present them is a sequential approach.